The Western Conference has always been the wild, wild west of basketball.
Doncic, what a pass indeed.
Ain't no way. He's guarding me one-on-one.
Oh, he just lost him.
Oh, my goodness.
Winning time.
Wesley underneath. Castle!
Every year, new teams rise while old giants fall, and the battle to survive feels like a war. But next season, the fight is going to get even tougher. Why? Because 3 teams from Texas, the Houston Rockets, the Dallas Mavericks, and the San Antonio Spurs, are about to flip the West upside down. These aren't the same squads you saw before. They've rebuilt, reloaded, and now they look like real threats. Each one has its own superstar, its own system, and its own shot at glory. And if you think the West was scary before, just wait until these 3 take the floor. Let's start in Houston, where a sleeping giant has finally woken up. The Rockets are no longer a team learning how to win. They are ready to win right now. The reason is simple. Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen, is now wearing Houston red, and his arrival changes everything. Last season, the Rockets were already one of the best defensive teams in the league, holding opponents to just over 110 points per game. But offense was a different story. They struggled in the half court, often grinding for baskets and falling short against elite teams. Now, with Durant in the mix, their biggest weakness has turned into their biggest strength. Durant doesn't just score, he dominates. He's the kind of player who can hit tough shots over anyone, anywhere, anytime. That's exactly what Houston was missing. Even better, this team is built so that KD doesn't have to waste energy on defense. Unlike his time in Phoenix, where he was asked to carry too much of the defensive load, Houston surrounds him with young athletes and tough defenders. That means Durant can focus on what he does best, being a cold-blooded scorer. And if he takes the Rockets to another level, don't be shocked if his name starts coming up in the MVP conversation again. But Durant is only part of the story. Houston's roster is stacked from top to bottom. Fred VanVleet brings veteran leadership at point guard. Amen Thompson is quickly becoming a rising star with his athleticism and playmaking. Alperen Şengün is a crafty big man with the skills to pass and score inside. And then there's the bench, where players like Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, Clint Capella, and Steven Adams give the Rockets incredible depth. No matter the matchup, Houston has weapons to adjust and punish opponents. The only real question left is who will start alongside Durant in the lineup. Options include Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, or defensive specialist Dorian Finney-Smith. Most signs point to Finney-Smith, who is the perfect 3-and-D wing. He shot nearly 40% from deep last season, including an incredible 45% from the corners. With Durant drawing defenders, Finney-Smith will get plenty of open looks, and his defensive toughness makes him a natural fit. Put it all together, and Houston has the defense, the depth, and now the superstar power to be a true contender. If things click early, the Rockets won't just be good, they'll be terrifying. Now let's move north to Dallas, a team that might be the biggest wild card in the entire league. The Mavericks could either surprise the world or crash hard. But one thing is certain, they have the talent to make noise. It all began with a miracle. Dallas had only a 1% chance to land the #1 draft pick, and somehow they did. With it, they selected Cooper Flagg, a teenager with sky-high potential who already looks like he belongs in the NBA. Flagg is tough, smart, and skilled on both ends of the court. Coach Jason Kidd even plans to test him at point guard for stretches, which could fast-track his development in a big way. The Mavericks also made a major shift in their front court. Anthony Davis, now playing at power forward, brings back memories of the Lakers' 2020 championship run, when he thrived next to big men like JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. This time, he'll pair with either Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford at center, giving Dallas a wall of size and rim protection that few teams can match. Their likely starting lineup features D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively. On paper, it's a fascinating mix of veterans, champions, and young talent. But the question marks are big. Can Davis stay healthy for an entire season? Does Klay Thompson still have enough left in the tank to hit big shots? Can D'Angelo Russell recover from one of the worst years of his career? And most importantly, when will Kyrie Irving return from his torn ACL? Without him, Dallas doesn't have a reliable second shot creator in the backcourt. Even with those concerns, Dallas has strong depth. Off the bench, they can bring in PJ Washington, Caleb Martin, Najee Marshall, Dante Exum, and Gafford. That's a group with real toughness and flexibility. The biggest issue is shooting. Last season, even with Davis, the Mavericks hit fewer threes per game than the worst three-point team in the league. That has to change. A lot may depend on Cooper Flagg's shooting touch. In college, he caught fire late in the year, hitting 44% from three over his last 24 games. If that shooting translates to the NBA, Dallas suddenly becomes a completely different team. The Mavericks are risky, no doubt, but if their stars stay healthy, if Flagg grows quickly, and if Kyrie makes it back, Dallas could go from a mystery to a true contender overnight. Finally, let's head to San Antonio, where the Spurs are quietly building a future dynasty. They may not be ready to win it all just yet, but the pieces are already in place. At the center of everything is Victor Wembanyama. The 7'4" phenom is already playing like a top 10 player, putting up 24 points, 11 rebounds, and nearly 4 blocks per game before his season was cut short. The good news is his health scare has cleared, and he's expected to be fully ready for opening night. The Spurs also landed a major piece at the trade deadline by adding De'Aaron Fox. One of the fastest guards in the league, Fox pairs perfectly with Wemby. Their pick and roll, or even pick and pop, could become one of the hardest plays to defend in all of basketball. Imagine trying to stop Fox speeding downhill while Wemby stretches the defense with his height and shooting. It's a nightmare for opponents. And the Spurs didn't stop there. On draft night, they scored big again. With the second overall pick, they took Dylan Harper, a guard with shades of Jalen Brunson and James Harden in his game. At 14, they added Carter Bryant for even more depth. Add that to young talents like Jeremy Sochan, Stephon Castle, and Keldon Johnson, plus veterans like Kelly Olynyk and Harrison Barnes, and suddenly San Antonio has one of the most balanced young rosters in the league. Their starting lineup will likely be Fox, Castle, Barnes, Sochan, and Wemby. But if Harper proves himself quickly, he could replace Barnes, giving the Spurs an even younger, more explosive core. Of course, there will be growing pains. New players need time to build chemistry, and rookies will make mistakes. But the future couldn't be brighter. Give this group 2 or 3 years and they may be one of the scariest teams in the entire NBA. So, where does this leave us? The West is about to get rocked by 3 Texas teams, each in their own way. The Rockets are built to win right now, with Kevin Durant leading a deep and dangerous roster. The Mavericks are the big wild card, a team that could either flop or rise to greatness depending on health and development. And the Spurs are the future, a team that may not dominate today but could soon rule the league. No matter how it all plays out, one thing is clear: Texas basketball is back, and the rest of the NBA better be ready.